Hi, my name is Matt Ermenhazy. I'm the founder of UntoXicated. This video is a little bit about the history of UntoXicated, where it is now and how you can help. My story starts a few years ago where I was kind of disillusioned with what was happening with teens. Kids were going out and getting wasted as they did when I was young. And I saw an opportunity to make an improvement on kids' choices when it comes to drugs and alcohol and tobacco. I wanted to empower youth. I was working with children in Scouts, so I wanted to come up with a method of promoting that it's okay to say no. So what I did was I came up with a design, and this design, you can see it on this shirt. This design, it borrows a bit from the straight edge movement that came to life in the 80s, but with UntoXicated, it all hinged around a design, and this design became available online as a poster, and it built up a strong community. This community started to flourish on Facebook. We had, I think, up to 5,000 fans in under 2 years. And the best thing about it was there was a lot of interaction within the community from people who have said no and people who are proud not to drink, smoke or do drugs. And that's the essence of what UntoXicated is all about. So there was a lot of goodwill in the community. A 13-year-old kid would say, look, my parents were on heroin. I'm so glad I found this community. You guys rock. Thanks for supporting me. And then maybe 80 people would say, you rock, brother. Stay hardcore. We're right behind you. So I built a strong community of people. But I found out through the statistics that most of the people in the community came from Malaysia, from Kuala Lumpur. And it was spearheaded, or the community was kind of put together by this guy called Kai Aziz. So what happened was a few years ago I went to Malaysia, to Kuala Lumpur, and I met Kai to see what he was doing. Kai really goes out of his way to help his community. He's a lead singer in a hardcore punk band, he gives shows, he gives presentations, and one of the things that really moved me when I first met him was not only does he spread the message of, guys, there's no need to drink, smoke or do drugs, but also he had a different message, and that was, rather than just saying no, get out there and help people. Get out there and contribute and do stuff. So this is what he did. He'd gather bags of food and he'd give it to school kids, and the school kids would go out at night in the rain and feed the homeless, the people living on the streets. It was really moving. So when I saw that, I went back to Sydney, Australia, and I thought UntoXicated should evolve a bit and be more than just saying no, but have a message of contribution. So I developed a program called the UntoXicated Youth Program. And what that is a program that goes around to schools, and it not only does it teach about the dangers of drugs, but it also gives kids the opportunity to contribute to their community. And it does this through these three key messages. So the first of the key messages is for the kids to feel. They have to feel what's wrong with their community. So we get the kids to sit down and we get them to write down what they feel about things that are happening in their environment, in their community. We ask them, what things upset them, what things could be better. Is there pollution? Is there rubbish? Is there drugs? Just write a list of things. Make a little map, a mind map, or just plot out what's happening in your environment. Is there graffiti? So that's the first step. The second key element is they have to imagine. They have to imagine a solution. What can they do? How can they fix the problem? If there's potholes in the road, do they have to contact a bus driver? Do they have to call a council? Do they, who do they contact, and how do they raise money? If there's graffiti, do they paint it? Do they get paint from somewhere? So that's the second one. So there's feel, imagine, and the last one is they have to do. They have to do something. They have to make a contribution. They have to make the world a better place. They have to do something to fix a problem. So they're given this challenge, and we say, right, after 1 week, we want to see results. So Kai and I tested this. We went to a school and we tested it, and we sat down with a school and we laid out the project for them, and we said, you've got 1 week to do this. And then we came back in a week's time, and we were invited to sit on the chair by the teacher, and we sat in front of a projector, and there in front of us 5 videos played. And these videos were really moving because they were made by the kids themselves. They had raised money for orphanages, they'd donated clothes to charities, they'd raised money for autistic kids, they'd helped the homeless, they've done so many things, they painted the school. It brought tears to my eyes, and so on the strength of that I stayed in Malaysia and tried to get the program going even more. To this day that the program's still travelling in schools, although it doesn't have, it's very underfunded, and it's only through donations of others and the goodwill of Kai and his team of artists and musicians that are donating their time to go around to the schools and get the program happening. I really want to see the program happen here in Australia. I think Australia needs it. There's a big problem here with ice and drugs, as we all know. And I think it's best if we educate kids that it's cool to say no. It's, in fact, one of the big things that I learnt from Kai and his community is, yes, they're badasses, they wear black and they're cool and they listen to hardcore music that most, people from the older generation can't tolerate. But the thing that they have is they have respect, and they get that through making contributions. They get respect through saying no. Or anyone that has the strength to say no has a strength of character that others don't have. They're going to be the last ones standing at parties. So there you have it. UntoXicated turned into UntoXicated Youth Malaysia, and now it's travelling throughout Malaysia. I'd like to see the same thing happening here in Australia. So what I would love to see is some support, either here and also in Malaysia, from either government programs or from commercial sponsors. Just help us, because we know it's doing great. So thanks for watching this video. I appreciate your time, and if there's any way that you can help out, contact me at matt@untoxicated.com, and I'd love to chat and see if you can help Kai or we can do something here in Australia. Thanks very much.